Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is said to be prosecuted in the land scam case. Governor Thawar Chand Gehlot has sanctioned his prosecution in the Muda land scam case based on a complaint filed by a social activist. The Chief Minister's office had confirmed that it has received this communication, and Siddaramaiah had earlier, termed the charges politically motivated. Karnataka CM has called for a special cabinet meeting at around 5 p.m. today. Let me first bring in my colleague Akhilesh on the Muda scam. Akhilesh, now we're learning that the governor of Karnataka has finally given in his sanction to the prosecution of Siddaramaiah.
Yes, correct. In fact, it's a detailed order given by the Karnataka governor, Mr. Thawar Chand Gehlot. Remember, 3 persons have petitioned against the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, alleging that he is involved in the scam in the Muda, and that's why the governor, on 26th July had issued a show cause notice to the Chief Minister, asking him to explain his position. But in the meanwhile, on August 1st, the cabinet headed by Mr. Siddaramaiah passed a unanimous resolution recommending to the governor that this show cause notice should be cancelled. But in this detailed order, Mr. Thawar Chand Gehlot has explained the reasons why he has given sanction to prosecute Mr. Siddaramaiah. He has made it very clear that the cabinet cannot recommend to cancel the show cause notice because it is headed by Mr. Siddaramaiah, who himself is facing charges on the issue of whether the governor is bound by the aid and advice given by the cabinet. Mr. Thawar Chand Gehlot in this notice has said very clearly that in special circumstances where the cabinet itself is headed by somebody who is under the cloud and whose role has to be investigated, such recommendations are not bound on the governor. And that is why in this case, he has recommended a sanction of prosecution against Mr. Siddaramaiah in the different sections of Prevention of Corruption Act and also under Bharati Nyaya Sanhita. So this is a very serious matter. This will of course have political repercussions because we know very well that Mr. Siddaramaiah himself faces a lot of challenges within the Congress party to his chair. And now Mr. Siddaramaiah has called a special cabinet meeting at 5 p.m. In the meanwhile, the Home Minister has made it very clear that Mr. Siddaramaiah will challenge the order given by the governor legally. And so we have to wait and see what kind of legal challenge is given by Siddaramaiah to this governor's sanction of prosecution. But in the meanwhile, of course, the political activities will take place because the BJP and the JDS, they are very aggressive on this issue. We have seen that how they have taken out a pedal yatra against Mr. Siddaramaiah demanding his resignation.
Right, stay on with us, Akhilesh. My colleagues Sunil and Pratibha also join us. Sunil, now Siddaramaiah in fact has maintained time and again that these allegations are politically motivated against him.
That's right. This is a part of what the Congress calls destabilizing democratically elected with a handsome majority just a year back. And this is part of that propaganda and plan of the BJP. And it's in that context that we must put certain facts and explain to them in terms of what, the governor has done in terms of sanction of prosecution. Yes, it is right that the cabinet had passed a resolution, but the cabinet had passed a resolution with the chief minister not present. He decided to remain absent at that day, and it was led by D.K. Shivkumar, the deputy chief minister, who did this. Why did they do this? This Karnataka's chief minister on a short notice came to Delhi because this sanction of prosecution was expected. It was anticipated. Please do not think that this has not happened in suddenly. This was well expected from the BJP, as they say, from the governor, Mr. Thawar Chand Gehlot, that the prosecution was coming. A meeting was held between Mr. Karge, Rahul Gandhi, the chief minister, as well as the deputy chief minister, as well as the state in charge, and they have a plan B. They have realized that this is an attempt once again by the BJP, which has been trying to do this on a regular basis on successive governments of theirs to try to destabilize, and this is another attempt. So that's their political and the first response that they have to give on this entire issue. More importantly, as you rightly said, the cabinet will be meeting at 5 o'clock. They will definitely look at all the legal options, but at present, it is only going to strengthen the hands of Mr. Siddaramaiah at the immediate future. How things will play out in the days to come, we'll have to wait and see, but definitely not unanticipated. This was expected, and the Congress had tried to ensure that every possibility was made to ensure that the governor did not give the sanction of prosecution, but he, in his wisdom, has done it, and as they allege, an attempt to destabilize a democratically elected government, which was voted to power with a handsome majority, defeating the BJP in just over a year ago.
Right, so Neil, stay on with us. My colleague Pratibha joins us as well. Pratibha, now take us through the Muda scam itself and the allegations against Siddaramaiah.
Well, the Muda scam did crop up just about a month ago, and the BJP did go hammer and tongs with respect to these allegations against the CM, right from holding protests, right from getting into the well of the House during the assembly session that was held recently. And apart from that, also holding Padayatras, a protest march of sorts from Bengaluru to Mysore. Now, talking about the Muda scam as such, well, it is referring to a plot of land, 3.16 acres to be precise, in one of the villages in and around Mysore. This happened around the 90s when the Muda had usurped this land from a family, and it was denotified. And in 2015 is when this was gifted to Siddaramaiah's wife Parvati by Siddaramaiah's brother-in-law. Now, there have been complaints that the brother-in-law himself had purchased the land using forged documents at that point in time. And with respect to the compensation that was allotted for this land taken over by Muda was rejected by the previous family before Parvati, who had held this land. And soon after which, once Parvati held this land, she did demand compensation for this in 2017. And this went on for quite some time with respect to the compensation that needs to be given in the form of another plot of land that can be given as part of this or in commensuration to this. And this was something that was ordered during the BJP's regime, is what the Congress has maintained. And based on that order is how he has been allotted a plot of land, 14 plots to be precise, in Vijayanagara. Now, the allegation is that this compensation far exceeds the amount of land that was initially taken over, the 3.16 acres taken over by Muda. This has been the allegation, and the Congress has said that this was during the BJP's regime. We'll have to wait to see what will be the Congress's strategy to counter this. Yes, they did counter this with respect to the governor's office, but we'll be looking at legal options now.
Right. Thank you for joining us, Pratibha, Sunil and Akhilesh, for bringing us those details. I'm also being joined by political analyst and senior lawyer Deshratan Nigam. Thank you for joining us, sir. Now, big development coming in from Karnataka. The sanction has been given from the governor of Karnataka to prosecute Siddaramaiah. The Muda scam, of course, has been going on for the past month at least, and political vendetta being the main allegation that the Congress is putting forward, sir.
Well, Aarthi, let me point out that prima facie, there are suspicious circumstances which can only come out either through inquiry, investigation under the prosecution. And the governor has appropriately given the sanction to prosecute, as CM is a public servant as defined under the Prevention of Corruption Act. And also under 218 of Bharati Nyaya Suraksha Samhita, which is the new criminal procedure code which has come into existence now since July. So, and one of the important aspect is that he did not disclose in his electoral affidavit about this parcel of land that he has been allotted, which is far more valuable than what was actually acquired. And therefore, there are violations, and it can only come out through serious investigation. Yes, political parties may call it vendetta, but there are sufficient grounds, and the governor must have taken legal opinion on it. And after having legal opinion, and he has given sanction to prosecute the chief minister, it does create a political kind of a crisis in Karnataka, especially because of the internal struggle, political struggle between Siddaramaiah and the other 2 or 3 persons out there who are CM's aspirant. And therefore, BK Shiv Kumar is one of them. And therefore, it has created a kind of a political turmoil, which will create instability within the government and within the party, as there are other people claiming to the CM's post. And there was some kind of a formula which was agreed upon, which is not being adhered to now. And therefore, legally, I believe it's a sound legal proposition to give sanction for the prosecution of the chief minister, the truth can only come out. We cannot say as of now what are the exact evidences. That will only come out once the investigation starts and the charge sheet is filed in the court.
Right, stay on with us, Deshmukh Nigam. I'm also being joined by Ashok Gowda, BJP spokesperson from Karnataka. Thank you for joining us, sir. Now, the Congress there, in fact, saying that these allegations that have come about, the fact that the CM is going to be prosecuted is vendetta politics. So, what are your thoughts on that?
It's not a vendetta politics. It's a very clear-cut violation of the rules and regulations. I'm a qualified architect with a master's in my planning. I've done it from the CEPT University from Ahmedabad. See, let's understand where the violations which has taken place. When the land was acquired for Devanuru Padavane from 92 was a preliminary notification, final notification was in 97. And the layout was developed in 2001. Whereas the 50-50 compensation factor came into existence in Karnataka from 2013 after the Supreme Court and the central government deciding, then the central government deciding that the compensation matter should be changed. Now, after 2013, if the compensation factor was to be 50-50 onwards, and in Muda, specifically the order was passed in 2017. Let's assume that even if they apply, if the land was acquired in 2014, they can apply 50-50, no problem. But for the lands which were acquired in 97 and developed in 2001, how can they be 50-50 compensation? Is this not a clear-cut rules violation? Is this not a clear-cut rules violation? And if CM is eligible for this, I am also eligible. A lot of farmers who have lost the lands, they are also eligible. I have also lost the land in Karnataka. That's that's point number one. Point number two, when Karnataka KTCP Act of 1962 clearly states on the stray sites that if at all you are giving, your land was acquired in a property, but if you want to give it in a A++ property, KTCP Act clearly states you cannot allot like that. It is only by auction 75% and 25% only to the special achievers. And what special achievement is Parvatama Siddaramaiah has done to the Karnataka ECN, Karnataka Ratna or Bharata Ratna or any sports achievements, or probably she is an achiever because tolerating the lives of Siddaramaiah for 50 years since he is married. And all these things is one part. Third part is that clearly Muda, the Kata or RTC, when the registration took place for Mallikarjun Swamy in 2004-5 and the gift deed which was done to Parvatama Siddaramaiah in 2010, then the RTC stood in the name of Muda. Right. As per the record submitted by TJ Ibrahim, even Pradeep and as well as Snehami Krishna. Record stands very clear. So can the registration be taken place? If not, the LOP then gifted and the sale deed when he was a deputy CM. Right. This rules will be violated for a common man, even for me and you. And no, I have only one more question. TV Murali, they say BJP did not do any action, BJP did not do action. 2022 November, Additional Director Town Planning TV Murali's committee was set up and that submitted the irregularities which was done in Muda on 25th October 2023. From past 9 months, what actions Siddaramaiah and Bhairathi Suresh have taken on Mr. this report? Please answer.
Mr. Gowda, now let's in fact pose this question to Lavanya Balal. Let's give them an opportunity to respond. Congress spokesperson Lavanya Balal joining us. I'm also being joined by Syed Alam, JDS spokesperson. We'll come to you in a minute, sir. Lavanya Balal, would you like to respond to these allegations? Big questions the BJP posing at this moment.
I would. I'll go step by step. I would like to respond to the lawyer, Mr. Nigam. He made kind of wild allegations about the power struggle in the Congress. As a lawyer, I think he's very well aware. He can only speak about facts and not make allegations. And he cannot buy into the fact that BJP claims there is a power struggle in the Congress, right? That is incorrect of you, sir. I would suggest you stop talking like that on national TV. Secondly, also, as a lawyer, I would like to ask him, so when there is a judiciary probe, you're very well aware that any activist or any individual does not have a right to file a private complaint with the governor. That action itself is incorrect and the governor has been acting on that incorrect action before there is any kind of probe that is taking place on this alleged scam. Now, when the BJP claims with so much of data, they come with a lot of years and numbers and everything. They think they can bamboozle the opposition and everybody in the debate by giving so many dates. Let me ask them very clearly. The 50-50 scheme sanctioned the 3,000 Muda sites under Basavaraju Bommai. There has been an official error when the RTC was, changed, when the property was purchased. It should have been under Muda and not under the survey number. That is one official error that has been committed by the official at that point of time, right? When the property was being purchased by Parvati's brother. And also, I would like to request the BJP, which claims to be a Sanskari party, you should stop making cheap comments about the Chief Minister's wife. Your comment, sir, with which you closed your debate or your points is very cheap, and I take objection to that. You better apologize to Ms. Parvati for the comment that you made. And this is an action by the governor, which is nothing but a witch hunt, intent on destabilizing the elected government in Karnataka. Let me be very clear. Everybody who is a legally educated person is aware today that this case will not hold in any court.
Right.
Neither in the lower courts, high courts, or the Supreme Court of India.
Right, Mr. Ashok Gowda, I see your hand up there. I'll give you an opportunity to respond. Before that, let's bring in Syed Alam, JDS spokesperson, who's joining us. Sir, now the Congress has time and again also mentioned that both the BJP and the JDS don't have a moral right to question them when it comes to the Muda scam. That's also something that CM Siddaramaiah has said as well. Let me bring in the JDS spokesperson and then I'll give you opportunities.
Allow me to speak in my time. Lavanya, thank you so much.
I'm sorry. I apologize to the JDS spokesperson. Sir, you should also respond. I'm sure the anchor, I don't know if you're aware, there is a complaint in the Lokayukta against Mr. Kumaraswamy on which there is no investigation or the sanction by the consent by the governor.
Right.
Point
taken, Lavanya. Let's give Syed Alam an opportunity to respond. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. First of all, we welcome the nod given by the Honorable Governor for the prosecution. Now, I would not do mudslinging here, ma'am. Let me be very, very clear. While the sanction is given for prosecution, if there are alleged irregularities which are observed in the Muda scam, and I mean, why is the Congress so scared? Let the investigation happen and let them come clean. If there's no irregularity, why are you? So no one is talking about what is happening in your own party, ma'am. We are not talking about whether there's personal rivalry between DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah. We are not talking about it.
The Supreme Court lawyer did.
There is a flag, ma'am, allow me to speak. There is a clear flag by the opposition and the people of Karnataka against the Congress government. There are irregularities which have happened in Muda. There are irregularities and happened in the allotment of 14 sites. Now, if you see that there is merit and investigation needs to happen, let the investigation happen and you come out clean. We are not saying that,
Right. I'm going to give Ashok Gowda an opportunity to respond. Final words with you, sir, because I have very less time with us.
Yeah, give me some time because there are clear allegations against.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me just complete it with the clear, with the due respect to Parvatama Siddaramaiah. Nowhere we intend to hurt in any woman in any part of India. That is point number one. Point number two, Siddaramaiah being a lawyer, he cannot escape the law points. Please understand, whether asked by the Supreme Court lawyer or by me, who is a technically qualified person, he cannot escape. Please answer, Siddaramaiah's wife was eligible only for 2 sites according to 1992 Acquisition Act, which was very clear. That is 4,800 square feet, whereas he gets 38,243, that is very close to around 39,000 square feet. If this formula is applied for Siddaramaiah, why can't the same formula be applied for Ashok Gowda or Lavanya Ballad or anybody else? I have also lost a land. So many of the farmers have lost the land in Karnataka. So this same thing, there cannot be a double standards.
Right.
This is what we are asking. As a common people of Karnataka, we are asking the same
question. Can I come in?
Let me just give quick.
Let me just ask one more thing.
Sure. Mr. Gowda, your final question, and then Lavanya Ballal, a quick answer from you, please.
For a site which is there in Vijayanagara, Mysuru, for Sadashivanagara in Bangalore, 55,000 square feet is up per square feet of the land rate going. Maharaja's land was acquired 15 acres, 3,600 crores is a compensation, whereas the compensation paid for him is only 1 crore. How can this be double standard?
Right, Lavanya Ballal, quick answer to that, please.
I would like to tell Mr. Gowda, very clearly, I think you have forgotten. The lands, the 14 sites were allocated to Ms. Parvatama Siddaramaiah by the Bommai government, the BJP-led government.
Right.
Let me be very clear, Mr.
30th of
The Bommai
December,
government-
the clear-cut order was passed.
And also, we are not scared of
Saying
this
that
investigation.
Commissioner and
What
the
we
chairman
are
is
making a
responsible
point
for
at this
what?
point
And
of
who is the
time,
chairman?
since
In
Mr. Gowda, since you fail to understand, what we are saying is the illegal actions of the BJP and the illegal actions of the governor. That is
Lavanya.
what we are mentioning.
Right.
Lavanya.
We are not
Unfortunately,
worried
I'm out
about
of
the
time
case.
at this moment in the broadcast, but there you see allegations and counter-allegations as the Muda scam rakes up more trouble for CM Siddaramaiah. We'll continue tracking the story for you. For now, we take a short break.